I love the fact that she said what needed to be said. Y'all ladies on the board that signed to these other leagues that's compromised, conflict of interest, stop playing games, bro. Stop playing games. She said it. Y'all want to see us play WNBA games. Y'all reporters, the fans, this is what they want to see us for. All this other stuff is cool. We're not there for that. We here to see y'all play WNBA hoops, bro. Straight up and down. CC standing on business.
Breaking. A single practice clip just went viral, and Caitlin Clark absolutely shocked Team USA in a way nobody saw coming. What unfolded in those few seconds has fans stunned, coaches left speechless, and the internet completely ablaze with reactions and commentary. This wasn't just another practice. It was a statement, a warning to anyone watching. The clip was never meant to be public. It was supposed to be a normal, low-key session. No cameras, no headlines, no drama, just another closed-door Team USA workout. But somehow, one short clip slipped through, capturing a moment so electrifying that it instantly grabbed the attention of basketball fans worldwide. A video only a few seconds long, yet so powerful it forced the entire basketball community to stop, rewind, and take notice. What exactly happened in that fleeting moment of practice? Fans are replaying it endlessly, analysts are dissecting every movement, and speculation is off the charts, with debates and hot takes spreading like wildfire. Every angle, every slow-motion replay only amplifies the shock, highlighting Caitlin Clark's skill, timing, and sheer audacity. One thing is undeniable. Caitlin Clark reminded everyone why she's not just a player. She's a force to be reckoned with, and she did it with a confidence and precision that left absolutely no room for doubt.
All right, what a day, what a day. The GOAT, Caitlin Clark, made her return to the basketball floor today. I showed y'all, we got some live clips. I'm gonna show y'all some more. But the important part of this video, Caitlin Clark destroyed the WNBPA Nneka Ogwumike, Napheesa Collier, who tries to name drop her at her convenience to win people over, Breanna Stewart, the unrivaled co-founders, all these people that's a part of the board that's signing with Project B, and all of this stuff. Caitlin Clark called their asses out today. She said, stop playing games. We need to play.
In the clip, Caitlin Clark doesn't look nervous. She doesn't look rushed. She looks completely locked in. Every movement sharp, deliberate, and effortless. One dribble, step back, deep three, nothing but net. Then it happens again. And again. Defenders switch, they double team, they hesitate. And it doesn't matter. Caitlin sees everything before it happens. Why does this hit different? Because this wasn't a game. This was practice. A space where coaches experiment, stars usually relax, and egos tend to take a nap. But Caitlin? She flipped the switch entirely. She played like she had something to prove. Like she remembered every time she was benched, every time she was doubted, every time she was overlooked. Her focus and precision were electric, impossible to ignore, commanding the room without a single word. Within minutes, the clips spread everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. She was cooking defenders like it was nothing, leaving no margin for error. This is exactly why you don't bench her. She's on another level. Even seasoned analysts went quiet because this wasn't hype. It was pure, unshakable control. Inside Team USA practice, the mood shifted instantly. Smiles vanished. Conversations died down. Coaches started whispering among themselves. When a single player dominates like that, even in practice, it forces hard questions. Who's really leading this team? Who's controlling the pace? And who has the confidence to take over when it matters most? The answers were uncomfortable, undeniable. Caitlin's game speaks louder than words, and in that practice, it spoke volumes, leaving a mark that no one in the room or on social media, could ignore. She didn't celebrate, she didn't point, she didn't say a word, she just kept moving. Pull-up threes, no-look passes, reads before defenders even had a chance to react. Every motion was smooth, controlled, and seemingly effortless. A dance between anticipation and precision. And that's exactly what made people nervous. Fans watched in disbelief as the truth unfolded right before their eyes. They weren't just excited, they felt vindicated. For weeks, they had defended her. For months, they had questioned coaching decisions, debated strategy, and argued over lineups. For years, they had believed in her vision, in her work ethic, in the quiet confidence that radiated from her every move. And now, this single clip proved it all. This wasn't favoritism. This wasn't hype. This was raw talent meeting opportunity, executed with surgical precision, and it demanded attention. Every dribble, every fake, every instinctive pass was a message. She wasn't just good, she was transcendent. And that's why this practice moment resonates so strongly. Some moments change the outcome of a single game. Others reshape entire seasons. But this one didn't just affect games or seasons, it changed narratives. Once people saw what Caitlin Clark could do, even in an empty gym, it became impossible to unsee. And once the internet witnessed it, the ripple effect was immediate. Every replay, every slow-motion clip, every different angle only reinforced her dominance, leaving no room for doubt. The silence after the storm was just as telling. After the clip went viral, there was no press conference, no denial, no explanation, just quiet. And in sports, silence often speaks louder than words. Everyone saw it. Caitlin didn't post, didn't comment, didn't explain. She let her game do the talking. Because when your performance shocks everyone, captions are irrelevant. Every shot, every assist, every controlled step carried its own weight. It was a reminder that excellence doesn't need a soundtrack. It announces itself. So here we are, one viral practice clip, one dominant performance, one superstar quietly reminding everyone exactly who she is. Team USA is watching, fans are watching, analysts are watching, and the world is waiting. Because if Caitlin Clark looks like this in practice, imagine what she'll do when the stakes are real, when the crowd is roaring, when every possession counts, and every defensive rotation is calculated to stop her, and still fails. This story isn't over. It's only just getting started. And the world is about to see just how high the bar has been set. Just how impossible it might be for anyone to match her level of skill, focus, and sheer basketball intelligence. And just how thrilling it will be to watch her redefine what dominance looks like on the court. Caitlin Clark looked good on both ends, Kara Lawson said after her first practice with the USA Basketball Senior Women's National Team. That undersells it. At Team USA camp, Clark didn't just shine, she separated herself, outclassing every newcomer, Angel Reese included. Sue Bird, the managing director, lit up watching Clark crank the tempo, bury threes, and build instant chemistry with Aaliyah Boston that screamed starter. After an injury-riddled season, Clark showed she's fully healthy and poised to lead Team USA to gold in 2026, while Reese was left trailing far behind.
Who should not make this Team USA team? I'm gonna give you my roster that I would keep. Let me know if you agree or not. I want to know. I need to know if you feeling where KTV is going with this. And Caitlin Clark destroys in day 2 of Team USA camp, looking like the best player in the world as usual.
After months of silence caused by an injury-ravaged sophomore season, Clark finally returned to the court, and what followed stunned everyone. Before getting hurt in year 2, she was shattering records at a historic pace as a rookie. 62 of them, triple doubles, logo range shots, and performances that flipped the WNBA on its head became routine. Then the momentum vanished. Her second season spiraled into a brutal cycle of injuries, one after another. Clark summed it up best. "I think the challenge for myself was just, it was one, and then it's like a little better, but then it continued to compound and get worse, and other things pop up. The same player who rewrote the record books could barely stay healthy, appearing in just 13 games all season. 13 games after a 62 record rookie year."
I'm just really thankful for, the training staff and player development and everybody that has kind of been there with me. They haven't taken a break either because they invest a lot of time and they want me to be successful. So I think for myself, like it's not proving it to yourself again, but it's just that feeling. And I think it just made me smile quite a bit. Like I really did kind of feel like myself out there and just continuing to get my lungs back. But I felt like I was moving really well. So it was pretty satisfying.
The whispers started immediately. Could she really come back? Would the injury strike again? Was her legendary rookie season just a fluke? Clark hadn't played meaningful basketball in nearly 5 months when she arrived at Team USA camp. 5 long months away from the game that made her a star. The pressure was immense. This wasn't just another workout. It was her audition for the 2026 World Cup roster and the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. Every coach, analyst, and camera tracked her first moves, searching for rust or hesitation. Clark later admitted she was nervous, but said the moment the ball touched her hands in warm-ups, comfort quickly returned.
Being hurt is an incredibly isolating thing, and you don't really understand it until you go through it. And then I think the challenge for myself was just, it was one injury and then it was like a little better. And then it kind of continued to compound and get worse and, other things pop up. And then I had the ankle injury. So it feels nice to finally be back to 100%.
But comfortable barely captures what came next. Clark declared herself fully healthy and then showed it. Her shots swished, her passes hit their marks, and her court vision was sharper than ever. She pushed the pace like the old Clark, sparking fast breaks and setting up teammates flawlessly. The player who averaged 16.5 points and 8.8 assists in just 13 games looked utterly locked in. Coach Kara Lawson watched in awe. "She looked good on both ends," Lawson said, a simple remark that carried huge weight. After 5 injury-filled months off, Clark was back, not missing a beat, and looked like her record-breaking rookie self, maybe even stronger.
And one of the things that stands out to me in looking at this, it's not just that she's back on the basketball court and it's a relief, but her speed seems to be back. We saw it on that step back 3 on the first day of practice, but there was a play in the day 2, and this play for a number of reasons is very exciting to watch. But number one, let's start with the speed. You see Caitlin Clark gets the dribble handoff from Aaliyah Boston. It's the way she turns the corner and how quickly she gets down that stands out to me here. Look, coming downhill, great pass, right, to Jackie Young down there.
Clark's joy was impossible to miss. "My main goal for today was just smile and have fun," she said, and that grin never left her face. She had her game back, her health back, her confidence back. The energy at Team USA camp shifted the moment Clark proved she was fully healthy. One play captured it all. She threaded a seemingly impossible pass to Aaliyah Boston, cutting to the basket, perfectly timed and placed. Boston finished with a smile, and Clark beamed right back. The 2 Indiana Fever teammates had just given Team USA a masterclass in chemistry.
This is what makes Caitlin Clark so special, all right? And this is what put pressure on defenses when she's out there, even if her shot isn't falling. All right, watch this. She gets the rebound. She's pushing the floor. Look at this tempo. Look at this tempo, fam. Pushing the floor. Absolutely rushing the defense. And then this is what happens when you do things like this. Look, watch this. Look, now you got a wide open AB over here in the corner. I know it might be hard to see, but a wide open AB. All because she grabbed that rebound and pushed the tempo.
Building team chemistry usually takes weeks, even months, but Clark and Boston already had it down. A full season with the Fever had taught them to read each other instinctively and create scoring chances effortlessly. Coaches noticed within minutes. Clark would snatch a defensive rebound and push the pace, eyes scanning for Boston streaking down the court. Boston would carve out space in the post, and Clark delivered passes through defenders that few others could even see. The timing clicked. The execution was flawless.
Caitlin knows when to do this, when not to do this. That's what makes her special. Now, there are other guards that can recognize when to push the floor and when not to, but I'm just pointing out what's special about Caitlin, along with those 3 balls that she can knock down. When her shot isn't falling, this is what makes her a weapon. Although her shot isn't falling, people still respect her to the level where they're like, hey, she can get hot, man. We're not going to just allow her to be open just because she missed 1, 2, 3 shots. We're not going to allow that, man.
Clark's court vision opened doors for Boston that no other guard could. When Boston sealed her defender low, Clark delivered crisp entry passes at just the right angle. On pick and rolls, she threaded passes through double teams, finding Boston rolling to the basket effortlessly. Even more striking was her pace control. Clark grabbed rebounds and immediately pushed, creating fast breaks before defenses could react. Teammates sprinted down court, knowing she'd find them if they got open. She dropped a perfect pass to Jackie Young for a layup, earning approving nods from the coaching staff. Clark and Young displayed the kind of seamless connection that could anchor Team USA's starting lineup for years.
I guess you can't rule anything completely out. Can't rule anything completely out like that team up right there. But I expect to see them really playing well off of each other in Team USA and in a Team USA uniform over the next several years, and the next couple of versions of that team. Just because Jackie Young knows how to do almost everything out on the court, and she would just thrive, I think, and she will thrive playing alongside Caitlin Clark.
The energy between Clark and Boston was contagious. Smiles never left their faces, and it was clear they loved playing together again. That confidence rippled through the team. Sue Bird and the coaching staff watched, increasingly impressed. Most point guards take time to build these bonds. Clark already had them. While the camp buzzed with talk of roster battles, coaches were seeing one player rise above the rest. The story heading into camp was simple. Multiple players vying for limited 2026 World Cup spots, with fierce competition expected.
The GOAT is back. Look at the rain. Man, she's back, bruh. She's back.
Angel Reese made it clear how much the team meant to her. Everybody wants to make the team. It's an honor to be even in this camp, she said. The pressure was intense. No one's spot was guaranteed. Clark understood that perfectly. You all want to win. You're all fighting for a spot, she said. But by day 2, her approach made the competition seem one-sided. Analysts called her on fire. Her threes were falling, her court vision created opportunities others couldn't see, and her decision-making was flawless. She drained shots from NBA range, threaded passes through traffic, and made the right read on every possession.
This is who should, I'm giving y'all the starting lineup, the bench, all of that. This is who should make this Team USA team. The GOAT, Caitlin Clark, should be the starting point guard for Team USA. Duh, the best thing that ever did it. Caitlin Clark starting at point guard. Jackie Young should be starting at shooting guard. I got Kahleah Copper starting at the 3. I think that would be good. I got De'Erica Hamby starting at the 4, and I got Indiana Fever's own Caitlin Clark's running mate, Aaliyah Boston, starting at the 5. That's my starting 5.
While others chased individual stats, Caitlin Clark lifted everyone around her, naturally emerging as a leader who communicated nonstop, commanded the floor, and impressed Sue Bird and coach Kara Lawson with her two-way skill and versatility. Fully healthy after a string of injuries, she proved she was back at 100%, effectively securing the primary point guard role as Team USA's future took shape around her. The camp marked a passing of the torch, with Clark reflecting on her journey from youth teams to the senior squad and building strong chemistry with players like Aaliyah Boston and Cameron Brink. With Bird and Lawson clearly planning for 2026 and 2028, the roster announcement seemed a formality. Team USA had found its leader and the core of a new dynasty.
A'ja Wilson has definitely been in the headlines these last couple weeks, man, in regards to Caitlin Clark news.
Fresh off the WNBA season, Caitlin Clark wasted no time landing a headline-grabbing, legacy-building off-season deal that's shaking the league, and leaving A'ja Wilson feeling the heat as the spotlight swings back to Clark.
And it looked like Caitlin Clark has landed her first speaking gig of the offseason. A'ja Wilson found herself in a situation involving Caitlin Clark again.
Let's be real. Caitlin Clark's latest move isn't just business. It's a six-figure power play that's turning heads across a league mired in pay disputes and leadership drama, as she racks up corporate speaking gigs that make even the commissioner's paycheck look like pocket change.
Last offseason was Caitlin Clark $100,000 an hour speaking gigs. Well, I'm here to tell you she is not taking long getting back to work, raking in the cash because she has landed.
Caitlin Clark is reportedly earning $100,000 for every appearance she makes at Fortune 500 events. A figure that underscores just how much her influence extends beyond the court. Even in the off-season, she doesn't take a break. She continues to dominate, turning every stage she steps on into a showcase of power, strategy, and unrivaled personal brand.
She's landing $100K to speak to speak for companies and represent companies all over the country. She's not hurting for cash, and I just think this is just the coolest thing ever.
Caitlin Clark will headline the Long Island Association's Elite Fall Conference, getting paid to share her story with executives who strike million-dollar deals before lunch. She'll step onto the stage as the event's marquee draw, turning her on-court fame into a platform that captivates a room full of top-tier business leaders.
It look like Caitlin Clark is headed to Long Island Association, bro. So it stated Long Island Association joined the Long Island Association's president and CEO, Matt Cohen, moderates a special conversation with Caitlin Clark discussing her record-breaking performances, impact, and cultural influence on October the 29th. At 10:30 to 12:30 in New York.
Caitlin Clark can earn in an hour what most WNBA players make all season, effortlessly building a second career while the league fiddles with travel upgrades. With every high-profile appearance, she cements her brand and financial independence, showing that her influence extends far beyond the court.
A'ja Wilson is currently back in the headlines after news surfaced. She's charging $100,000 for speaking events. She's talking about, she's charging $100K for speaking events, and fans is like, Shrek? Since when? And you only doing this because of Caitlin.
Players like A'ja Wilson feel the sting as Caitlin Clark, in just one season, outshines and out-earns them, flipping the WNBA's hierarchy overnight. Her meteoric rise rewrites expectations, turning the league's traditional pecking order on its head and leaving peers scrambling to keep up.
A'ja Wilson is the queen of the delusion. She's absolutely the queen of the delusion.
When Caitlin Clark's brand outgrows the league, power shifts, sponsors, media, and high-profile speaking fees follow her, not the WNBA. While she builds her empire, veterans like A'ja Wilson can only watch, envy streaming through social media.
That's crazy because literally nobody asked, and sources close to A'ja Wilson decided to answer anyway.
This story isn't just about paychecks, it's about control. As Caitlin Clark builds her platform while the WNBA flounders in chaos. Every speaking fee she cashes proves she doesn't need the league's infrastructure to wield real power. She outgrows it.
Throughout the year, WNBA players were demanding to be given credit for elevating the league. Angel Reese claimed that along with their pretend friends in the mainstream media, they wanted us to believe that the WNBA was exploding in popularity. They wanted to keep all the credit for themselves while downplaying the impact of the only star in the league, Caitlin Clark.
Corporations understand Caitlin Clark's value better than the WNBA ever will, seeing her not just as a player, but as a global brand whose fan base, international reach, and charisma make her the face of women's sports. And that's why her Long Island speaking event signals that the corporate world values her more than the league, as six-figure payments prove, while she quietly builds independence, wealth, and influence while others, like A'ja Wilson, fume online. And as the WNBA panics, Clark turns the offseason into her own business empire, out-earning and out-maneuvering the league, while her peers argue over contracts, proving that her presence alone drives ratings and sponsorships, showing the blueprint for generational wealth and independence, bypassing player-run leagues like Unrivaled because she doesn't need them, while the league watches helplessly as she negotiates speaking fees, signs deals, and trends online, all outside their control, turning appearances into statements of dominance, timing her Long Island event just before the CBA expiration to highlight the irony of chaos in contrast to her control, defining her own worth and leverage regardless of lockouts, maintaining professionalism that shields her from criticism while eclipsing rivals, and proving that her brand now transcends the league itself, leaving the WNBA vulnerable if she ever chose not to return. And throughout it all, Caitlin Clark moves silently and strategically, turning every opportunity into a masterclass on success, showing that the spotlight no longer needs the WNBA to follow her, and that when she steps onto that stage, everyone sees not just an athlete, but a phenomenon. While A'ja Wilson watches from the sidelines, wondering how it feels to be second in her own league. And yet, the bigger question lingers. How long can this imbalance last before the WNBA is forced to reckon with it, or before other players decide to emulate Clark's path and forge their own independent empires? Every sponsorship she signs, every speaking engagement she nails, and every viral highlight she creates becomes a ripple through the league, raising stakes for both players and executives, while reshaping the very idea of what it means to be a professional athlete in women's sports. As Clark continues to navigate this uncharted territory, the conversation shifts from points and assists to influence, autonomy, and legacy, leaving fans, sponsors, and even her peers wondering whether the league can ever reclaim the narrative, or if Clark has simply rewritten the rules, leaving the next move entirely up to her. With each calculated appearance and deal, the air grows heavier with anticipation. Who will step up, who will follow, and who will be left defining themselves in a shadow that Clark has cast so deliberately, so widely, and so inevitably?
A'ja Wilson's just a big bully. Look at this. Throws Lexi Hall on the ground. Everything she does is illegal. Look at this one. A moving screen and then pushes Lexi Hall. You think they ever call a foul on A'ja Wilson?
The Las Vegas Aces tried to bully the Indiana Fever with elbows, flops, and cheap shots, but the Fever answered with speed, grit, and vengeance, especially when Kelsey Mitchell buried shot after shot to silence the arena. In the end, Vegas's intimidation backfired, and Indiana turned their arrogance into humiliation.
This was supposed to be a night all about A'ja Wilson's legacy. She made history before the ball even tipped, but the game that followed reminded the Aces how tough this playoff run will be.
The Indiana Fever have pulled off the upset, the 6th seed, beating Vegas 89-73 to take game 1.
What began as Aja Wilson's night of celebration quickly turned into a humbling reminder that the Aces' supposed coronation was anything but easy once the game began.
And Aja Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces lose game 1 on their home court to the Indiana Fever, 89-73. The Indiana Fever were in control of this game from start to finish. There was a small little patch there in the third quarter. We started saying, uh-oh, are the Aces gonna come back? Uh-oh. Well, Kelsey Mitchell and Odyssey Sims said, no, they're not going to come back. Not at all.
The Aces entered as overwhelming favorites, backed by media hype and Becky Hammond's confident reminders that Indiana hadn't yet faced the real Aces. But with 6 players out and the odds stacked against them, the Fever turned what was supposed to be Vegas's statement game into a test of arrogance.
You actually just referenced it twice. It is Indiana. Dropped 2 of the 3 games to them this year, but you haven't seen them since late July. What excites you about that matchup?
That they haven't seen the real Aces yet. They caught us when we were a bit in turmoil. Not only that, they whooped us one of those stretches. So, you know what? We'll buckle in, hone in where we can, and take care of business.
While Vegas soaked up the pregame spotlight, the overlooked Fever played with the fearless freedom of a team no one expected to win, and it showed the moment the game began.
But on the court, the Fever crashed the party. Kelsey Mitchell dropped a playoff career-high 34 points to spoil the night with an 89-73 win.
In the second half, I just felt like our physicality and our pursuit was not there. Like, we died on screens. You have to have second and third efforts. Even if you know you might be beat, you still have to try hard to get back into the play, and I don't think we tried hard in that category.
Indiana came out fast and fearless, flipping the script as Vegas's swagger turned to panic under the Fever's relentless pace. By the end of the night, the supposed underdogs had rattled the champs, rewriting the series math and stealing both momentum and belief.
You better not blank on the mission, bitch. You might get ranked. Shot back. Let it go. Right. Go. With it. Flash for somebody. Die. Gang. You don't want to fight no hitter? No. I'ma shoot you in the face.
The moment Indiana stood firm, the Aces abandoned their game plan for shoves and desperation, turning a showcase of dominance into a scramble for shortcuts.
Lexi Hall was getting pushed all game. Look at that. Like, elbowed, pushed, but guess who fell? That's a legal screen. She leans into Lexi Hall, pushes her. Look at this. Pushes Lexi Hall down. Like, I can't take this crap. I'm sick of watching it over and over. That's a moving screen. And then pushes her again. Look at that. You can't do that. They didn't call any. This is the only one they called a foul. She straight pushed Kelsey Mitchell into Aja Wilson.
Aja Wilson tried to assert dominance not with skill, but with elbows, flops, and cheap shoves that had little to do with basketball. Her antics made it clear she wasn't leading the game. She was just trying to regain control of one slipping away.
And then this pathetic foul to start the game off with. But ball never lies. I love when karma happens. Yeah, miss your free throw. And then here we go. Check this out. Foul. Look at this. When she swings her elbows on Powers. And Powers just holding her ground. But it's a foul. Let's go through this. This is Aja Wilson. I'm so big and bad. No, you didn't get touched. It wasn't that cool. You made a layup.
Following Wilson's lead, the Aces turned the game into a bruising brawl disguised as physical play. But the tougher they hit, the sharper and more unshakable the Fever became.
But then Aaliyah Boston swings her elbows around and makes a shot, but no, she can't do it. She's a Fever. And Indiana Fever, she said, that's a flop. That's what Caitlin said. Here we go. A'ja Wilson. Look at her trying to flop to get a call. Nobody touch you. And this is the biggest bullcrap of the game. So Kelsey Mitchell goes in for a layup. A'ja Wilson shows them their lip, so they review it. You ever see an Indiana Fever player get a review when they're called for a foul and they zoom in with a microscope and call it technical? They called it technical on Kelsey Mitchell.
Every cheap shot from Vegas only fueled Indiana's fire, as Mitchell, Sims, Howard, and Turner answered each foul with sharper focus, tighter defense, and unshakable composure.
A'ja Wilson, look at that foul they called for. Yeah, saved her. That's a bullcrap. I love Aaliyah Boston. Great job today playing defense. Look at that. Another foul. Bailed out by the refs. I get pissed off. This is the worst one. They call this a jump ball. How is that a jump ball? Nobody even had possession. Aaliyah Boston, that's anything is over the back. Not a jump ball.
The Aces, led by their newly crowned MVP, were supposed to embody composure, but every shove and flop exposed how rattled they really were. As Vegas turned the game into a wrestling match, Indiana met the chaos head-on, fueled by pride and the absence of 6 teammates. What was meant to intimidate them instead ignited a fire that burned hotter with every Vegas misstep.
Money Mitch, put him in a ditch! Who on the Las Vegas Aces is going to try to stop Kelsey Mitchell? Because from what I just saw, they had no answer for her. Kirsten Bell lined right up, smacked. Jackie Young stepped right up, torched. Chelsea Gray torched. Jewel Lloyd torched. Nobody could hang with Kelsey Mitchell as she goes off.
Kelsey Mitchell answered Vegas's physical chaos with pure precision, torching them for 34 points and slicing through every shove and jawing attempt. For all the Aces' trophies and swagger, none of their stars could match the calm, relentless brilliance she brought where it mattered most. The scoreboard.
That time, keeping the pivot foot alive and going strong side for Wilson.
Mitchell this time finds a lane to the basket. Inside to Turner. Nice look from Mitchell, which follows 5 Eastern time on ESPN. Mitchell. Lot of arc on that and a couple of bounces.
Odyssey Sims anchored Indiana with fearless drives, relentless defense, and veteran poise, guiding her team through Vegas's chaos without ever stooping to it.
Good anticipation there by Brianna Turner. She's been on a couple WNBA all-defensive teams, and she has really been key for them on that end of the floor in these playoffs.
Sims, yet again.
That's a tough matchup.
Which follows 5 Eastern time on ESPN. Mitchell. Lot of arc on that and a couple in the regular season in Asia. In the entire league. And Sims, they gave her just that space and she took it.
Natasha Howard and Brianna Turner anchored the paint with disciplined physical defense that made life miserable for Vegas, while Lexi Hull quietly delivered the night's biggest impact by locking down Jackie Young and posting a plus 24, plus minus. It wasn't luck or flash. It was toughness, focus, and execution that exposed every Aces shortcut.
Tipped by Sims, so 9 seconds to shoot.
Hull's done a nice job on Jackie Young early in this game. Jackie likes to go north to south. She's made her play east to west, has not given her an angle to the bucket or to the rim.
And that was one of the things that was talked about to make Jackie move laterally. She's so dangerous. You gotta hurry. Chelsea gets it inside to Young. Rebound by Howard.
The Fever didn't just withstand Vegas's attempts to rattle them, they humiliated the Aces on their own floor by staying poised and relentless. On the very night A'ja Wilson received her MVP trophy, Aaliyah Boston owned the paint, turning Wilson's spotlight into a showcase of frustration and defensive dominance.
They don't want to talk about it. Yeah, her missing layup after layup after layup. They want to talk about Caitlin Clark missing a three-pointer from half court while she got people falling into her legs. But nobody wants to talk about A'ja Wilson looking like Angel Reese, missing point-blank layups all game long. In a playoff game, 6 for 22. So
A'ja Wilson, crowned MVP just hours earlier, was held to a rough 6 for 22 night as Boston, Turner, and Howard smothered her inside. Their relentless interior defense clogged every lane, cut off her comfort zones, and turned Vegas's smooth offense into a grinding struggle.
Lexi Hull had that great steal to seal the win against Atlanta. Great start for Aaliyah Boston.
Definitely the best slasher.
Boston and Wilson, two former South Carolina players. A'ja can't find the bottom of the net.
5'11". Odyssey sends in Kelsey Mitchell 5'8".
Boston up under and in.
Really having her battle.
A'ja.
The contrast was striking. Boston stayed composed and disciplined while Wilson unraveled with flops, complaints, and forced shots. By night's end, the newly crowned MVP had been outclassed by a second-year center whose poise and preparation exposed the complacency of a champion that had simply assumed it would win.
Regardless of people think we aren't going to win, people think we're not going to come back, like the game's never over until that final buzzer. So for us, just continuing to believe, continuing to trust in the process. But yeah, that game was really exciting, and I think that just showed us that we really are capable of whatever we want.
In the locker room, Lexi Hull summed up the Fever's defiant energy with 5 words: "We're capable of whatever we want." With the Game 1 win flipping home court and history on their side, Indiana now holds the blueprint to break Vegas again and turn this semifinal into a full-blown reckoning.
We've got to keep the main thing, and that is us playing to a standard of basketball that we want to have as an Indiana Fever organization and franchise. We've got to keep our layers. The outside, the people in our building, and the people in our locker room. And the thing I'm just so proud of with this group is it doesn't matter who's on the floor. It doesn't matter who's on our roster. They give each other the freedom to be themselves. They empower one another to be themselves and to be the best version of themselves. And every time we've had a change, every time we've brought someone in, every time we've had rotational changes, they're for each other. They live the we over the me. And when you have that, it just gives you opportunities to do really special things.
Vegas now finds itself rattled and desperate after being outworked at home, with its MVP neutralized and urgency questioned, setting up a Game 2 centered on adjustments, slowing the pace, freeing Wilson, and containing Kelsey Mitchell. But Indiana enters loose and fearless, fueled by belief and momentum, just one more win away from turning the Champs Dynasty talk into an elimination fight.
How do you feel about the performance, the urgency, and the response you had when they made a couple runs later?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, our group has seen it all. We wanted to come in and be the aggressor right away to make sure that we were dictating on the defensive end and we were dictating from a pace standpoint. They're champions for a reason. We knew that they were going to make runs. They made a big one in the third, and we responded with a big one. I'm proud of our team. It's one game. It's a long series, so we got to keep the main thing. But to come in here and to be able to steal this one was big for us.
The Fever didn't just upset Vegas. They rewrote the narrative, walking into the league's toughest arena on MVP night and leaving with their first semifinal win in over a decade. If they can ride this momentum, that victory won't just be an upset, it'll be the moment everything changes. Hello, basketball fans, and welcome to our in-depth look at Caitlin Clark's remarkable life. From her Iowa upbringing and athletic family roots, to her record-shattering career at the University of Iowa and rise to professional stardom, we'll explore every stage of her journey. We'll also highlight her endorsements, philanthropy, and personal side, so stay tuned for the full story. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoy detailed sports biographies. Caitlin Clark, a guard for the Indiana Fever in the WNBA, she left Iowa as the all-time leading scorer in NCAA Division I with 3,951 points, surpassing even the men's record and solidifying her legendary status. Drafted first overall in 2024, she quickly claimed Rookie of the Year honors, proving her impact at the professional level. This is the story of how a competitive kid from Iowa became a record-breaking star. Born January 22, 2002 in Des Moines and raised in West Des Moines, Caitlin Elizabeth Clark grew up in a close-knit, sports-oriented family. Her parents, Brent and Ann Nizzy Clark, worked in business and marketing, and she had two brothers, Blake and Colin. Blake would later play college football at Iowa State, while Caitlin took a different path that changed women's basketball history. Her family tree is full of athletes. Her father played basketball and baseball at Simpson College, and her brother Blake won 2 state football titles in high school. Several of her uncles played sports in college, and her maternal grandfather, Bob Nizzy, coached football and served as an administrator at Caitlin's high school. Competitive from the start, Caitlin admitted she never wanted to lose, whether the challenge was a board game or a ball game. As a child, Caitlin tried almost every sport: soccer, golf, softball, tennis, volleyball, and basketball. But hoops became her true love. She began organized play at age 5, often joining boys' leagues because of limited opportunities for girls. And by 6th grade, she was excelling with the All-Iowa Attack AAU program against older players. During that time, she teamed up with future WNBA star Ashley Jones, while drawing inspiration from icons like Stephen Curry and Maya Moore, and attending Minnesota Lynx games with her dad. Caitlin enrolled at Dowling Catholic High School, where she played 4 standout varsity seasons under coach Kristen Meyer. Already averaging 27 points per game as a sophomore and earning all-state honors, she drew national attention as a junior. That year, she erupted for 60 points in one game, the second highest total in Iowa girls basketball history, with 13 three-pointers, a state record, confirming her reputation as an unstoppable scorer. In high school, Caitlin Clark posted numbers no Iowa prep player had ever matched. She wrapped up her Dowling Catholic career with 2,547 points, ranking 4th in state history, and knocked down 283 three-pointers, good for 6th. As a senior, she averaged 33.4 points per game, led the state in scoring for the 2nd straight year, and collected awards including Iowa Gatorade Player of the Year, Iowa Miss Basketball, and First Team All-State. She also earned selections to the McDonald's All-American and Jordan Brand Classic games, though both were canceled due to COVID-19. Clark was initially committed to Notre Dame, but decided instead to remain in Iowa, joining the Hawkeyes in 2020, turned Iowa to the title game. On February 15, 2024, she surpassed Kelsey Plum to become the NCAA Division I all-time leading scorer and ended her career with 3,951 points, the most ever by any player, male or female. Beyond her scoring, Clark set Division I women's records with 5 chosen first overall by the Indiana Fever in New York, instantly making international headlines. In her rookie year, she averaged 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, and 5 rebounds, living up to the immense hype. Her professional impact was immediate. Clark captured WNBA Rookie of the Year, made the All-WNBA First Team, and was named an All-Star. She became the first WNBA player ever, rookie or veteran, to notch a triple-double, set the Fever's rookie assist and scoring records, and led the entire league in assists, quickly climbing the franchise's all-time scoring ranks. Caitlin Clark quickly became the centerpiece of the Indiana Fever and a nationwide media sensation. Her presence boosted the WNBA's profile as the Fever set new attendance records, including their largest ever home crowd, while nationally televised games featuring Clark drew huge audiences. Time magazine named her 2024 Athlete of the Year across all sports, underscoring how her impact extended well beyond basketball. During the summer of 2024, Clark trained with Team USA during the Olympic break as a potential addition for the Paris Games, though she didn't make the final roster. Earlier in her career, she had already established herself internationally, winning 3 gold medals with USA junior teams, including MVP honors at the 2021 U19 World Cup, where she averaged 16.4 points and 4.1 assists. Her dominance at Iowa made her an obvious candidate, admired for both her competitive spirit and her willingness to advocate for issues such as athlete compensation and media equity. Her impact combines statistical dominance with cultural significance, inspiring new generations to pursue basketball. The NIL era allowed Clark to build a financial portfolio unmatched by most athletes her age. She signed with Nike in a deal reportedly worth $28 million, far outpacing her WNBA rookie salary, and also partnered with brands like Gatorade, State Farm. By late 2023, her NIL value was estimated at nearly $900,000, but with her Nike deal and other endorsements, her earnings soared into the millions by 2024. Sources like Forbes placed her net worth at several million, while Celebrity Net Worth suggested as high as $15 million, largely from sponsorships rather than her WNBA paycheck of about $84,000 and CBS, though her only scripted role so far has been her surprise Saturday Night Live cameo. Beyond interviews and specials, she hasn't pursued acting, but her face is now a regular sight across magazines, commercials, and television, marking her as a true crossover star. In 2023, Clark founded the Caitlin Clark Foundation to invest her success back into communities. Its mission centers on 3 pillars: education, nutrition, and youth sports access, and it partners with local organizations to carry that out. In January 2025, the foundation awarded $22,000 in grants to 4 Iowa nonprofits, including the University of Iowa Children's Hospital and the Coralville Community Food Pantry. Clark has said she especially cherished giving back to the same children's hospice campaigns that distribute school supplies, sports gear, and books. Clark frequently joins local initiatives in person, such as opening new basketball courts in Des Moines. She often emphasizes the role of positive mentors and makes time for young fans whenever possible. So far, her philanthropy has remained rooted in Iowa and Indiana, reflecting her commitment. She enjoys cooking, family time, and game nights with friends. Former teammate Lexi Hull recalled Clark hosting lively dinner parties and competitive board game sessions, where her will to win carried over even into Settlers of Catan or Monopoly Deal. Her family continues to be a cornerstone of her support system. Clark often returns home to West Des Moines or Iowa City and openly credits her parents and brothers for keeping her grounded. Basketball player Connor McCaffrey became public. McCaffrey, who later pursued a career in coaching, has been seen frequently with her in both Iowa City and Indianapolis since her move to the WNBA. The couple is known to occasionally play one-on-one, and Clark has praised his honesty and encouragement. While the two have not announced future plans, their partnership remains her first serious relationship covered in the media, with both supporting each other's careers. By mid-2020, Caitlin Clark continued to redefine statistical standards in the WNBA. She tied Courtney Vandersloot for the most games with at least 20 points and 10 assists, and surpassed Sabrina Ionescu for the most 25-plus point, 10-plus assist performances. Averaging 19 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds, she proved her rookie dominance was only the beginning, despite injuries slowing her later in the season. Clark's profile off the floor grew just as rapidly. She broke her own fan vote record at the 2025 All-Star Game with over 1.3 million votes, while Nike launched her Kobe 5 Indiana Fever Player exclusive in June and revealed her signature logo in August. Her signature apparel and first shoe line are set for 2026, reinforcing her position as one of the sport's most marketable stars. At the same time, Clark expanded her philanthropic reach through the Caitlin Clark Foundation. In January 2025, it partnered with Scholastic and United States of Readers to donate 22,000 books to under-resourced schools. And during the 2024 Olympic break, it hosted a back-to-school drive in Des Moines. Even while managing injuries, Clark emphasized giving back, focusing on youth, literacy, nutrition, and sports access in her communities. Off the court, Caitlin Clark leads an active and well-rounded lifestyle. She is a passionate golfer, having played alongside world number 1 Nelly Korda and legend Annika Sorenstam in a 2024 Pro-Am tournament. She also enjoys being a sports fan herself, famously attending Kansas City Chiefs games as both a devoted supporter and a Taylor Swift admirer. In fact, she drew headlines when she was spotted next to Swift in a VIP suite during the 2024 NFL playoffs, chatting football with the pop star. When she has downtime, Clark prefers a simple routine of cooking, baking, and relaxing with movies or music. Social media often captures her with Connor at themed dinner parties, tailgates, or family gatherings in Iowa, where she enjoys quieter moments away from the spotlight. Her sense of style has also become part of her public image. She frequently represents Nike at events and has been featured in photo spreads for Sports Illustrated and ESPN, the magazine. Clark has co-owned Iowa-themed merchandise lines as well, though she says she still appreciates the small-town dinners and casual gaming nights just as much as glamorous red carpet appearances. Financially, Clark's net in West Des Moines. Clark spent her college years living in Iowa City near campus before moving to Indianapolis as a professional. She chose to remain there in the 2024-25 off-season to train with Fever coaches and take advantage of the Pacers Fever practice facilities, while still making time to return home to Iowa whenever possible. Her exact living arrangements remain private, but she likely splits her time between Indiana and Iowa. As of 2025, Caitlin Clark's story is just beginning. With her professional career still in its early stages, the future promises more records, milestones, and influence to come. Stay tuned for what's next. And if you enjoyed this profile, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more in-depth sports stories.